Ethel Winans began her television career in 1958 casting for Playhouse 90 and went on to become the casting director for the hit series Twilight Zone. Winans segued into the role of Director of Development at CBS, where she developed Lost in Space, Green Acres, Hogan's Heroes, and Hawaii Five-0. By 1973, she was named Vice President of Talent for CBS, making her the first woman executive at any of the networks. As a VP and the lone female executive for many years, Winans championed The Mary Tyler Moore Show, The Waltons, Rhoda, Lou Grant, and The Bob Newhart Show. Ethel Winans continued to work in television until 2002, when she was 80 years old.
I'm Hazel Scott.
Hazel Scott was the first black person to have her own show on American television. Born in 1920 in Trinidad, Hazel moved to New York City with her mother at age 4. A talented musical prodigy, she was performing on the radio by age 16 and went on to become a very popular jazz performer and radio personality throughout the 30s and 40s. In 1950, Hazel launched her own television show, The Hazel Scott Show. Her show was a big hit until Hazel was forced to testify before the House on Un-American Activities Committee. She was blacklisted, labeled a communist sympathizer, and her show was canceled. Hazel moved to Paris. She spent the next decade performing in Europe. In 1967, Hazel Scott finally returned to her home in New York City. Born in 1919, Lila Swift was a pioneer for female TV directors. At a time when there were very few, if any, female directors, Swift worked her way up from being a secretary to directing episodes for Studio One, The DuPont Show of the Week, Little Women, and The House on High Street. She went on to direct nearly 600 episodes of the hit series Dark Shadows, which ran for 5 seasons. Then, in 1975, she produced and directed the first episode of ABC's Ryan's Hope. The popular soap ran for 14 years, and Lila Swift directed more than 825 episodes and was awarded 4 Emmys for her work on the series. One of the driving forces behind England's most innovative television from the 1960s to the 80s was Sylvia Anderson. She co-created, directed, produced, wrote, acted in, and designed costumes for Thunderbirds Are Go and Fireball XL5. These groundbreaking children's shows used electronically operated marionettes. This form of puppetry was called supo-marionation. Along with an all-female crew of puppeteers, Anderson not only directed the bi-weekly voice recordings for the show's marionettes, she also provided the voices of many female and child characters. Her most famous character, and forever a fan favorite, Lady Penelope, is based on Sylvia Anderson.
I missed winter sports this year, and I'd love to see a snowman, abominable or otherwise.